Hi everyone, my name is Jonathan, host of This Is My Big Win. I'm so excited because, with this episode, right? Sometimes we're thinking about, what like I want to make a big change in my life. I want to move somewhere or I want to change my career or I want to do just something. Something it may even be drastic. But sometimes all we do is think about it, think about it, think about it, but we don't actually do anything. Our guest for this episode, Paula Denoncourt, is a certified holistic health consultant specializing in food allergies, intolerances, digestive issues, and autoimmune illnesses. Paula loves teaching people how to go back to basics on food choices by providing simple recipe guides and lifestyle tips. She has taught several classes and appeared on many TV shows. She has been a guest speaker for Central Mass Lyme Foundation, Bristol County Hope for Lyme and the Breast Friends Connection, just to name a few. Some of the key basics that we're going to learn in this episode include resilience, making a decision and sticking to it, and faith. I hope you enjoy this episode and definitely take notes. Hi Paula, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for asking. How's everything going lately?
Everything's good. Yeah. Thanks for asking. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for being on this episode. So episode number 4, right? So definitely excited to have you on. So what have you been up to lately? What are, for the past couple of months or so? Like what have you been up to?
So, what have I been up to the past couple of months? I have just been rebuilding my business, just really getting the word out there, what I do. Been doing some clubhouse broadcast. I couldn't think of the word with clubhouse because it's kind of like a podcast. Yeah. But for those of you who don't know Clubhouse, it's kind of the new social media platform, so to say. If anybody's on here that doesn't know what it is, you have to have an iPhone right now. They're in beta stage, but I've been doing a broadcast on that called Overcoming Illness, and I've been a guest speaker on a few platforms. So just really getting out there, doing a little bit more on my other social media platforms. So yeah, that's about it. Just really been rebuilding my business and getting the word out. hmm
Absolutely. And Clubhouse has been kind of a good vehicle really to be able to rebuild your business, right?
Yeah, it's great for networking and really just meeting other people and just helping more people. Yeah, absolutely.
Have you
hmm
been finding success with it?
Yeah, it really it's a lot different than regular social media. It's instant connections, definitely.
For sure, for sure.
hmm
So what is your business? Like what do you do exactly?
So I'm a holistic health coach. So I've been doing that since 2010. So I help my clients stop suffering and pain, help them reduce that belly bloat because they can't digest their food because they have food allergies or food sensitivities.
Hmm.
It helps them focus, I help them so they can focus better. Um, just really stop suffering and give them simple tips through diet and lifestyle tips that are easy to follow. I don't believe in giving, um, a menu that's the kitchen, everything but the kitchen sink in there. You know what I mean? I wouldn't do that. So I wouldn't do that to my clients. So I do one-on-one coaching, group coaching, and speaking engagements.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I give people, just a simple recipes to follow. So if they have food allergies, food sensitivities, that'll reduce pain in their body. That'll reduce the allergies in their body, and just help them feel better. They'll have more energy. Um, not be as tired all the time. So all different things like that. I do also specialize in autoimmune. So I've helped a lot with Lyme disease. I did talks in Massachusetts on Lyme disease for Central Mass Lyme, um, Hope for Lyme in Rhode Island. Um, so I've done several, toxin and nutrition on Lyme disease. I was very big advocate for Lyme disease and still am.
Hmm.
Um, but I've kind of generalized it a little bit more because I've seen other illnesses fall under the same umbrella. so such as lupus and MS and things like that. So I don't want to limit it to just Lyme disease. So um, yeah, that's basically what I do.
Oh, wow. And where are you based out of?
I'm in North Carolina now, but I'm originally from Massachusetts. So I moved here almost 2 years ago.
Very cool. You escaped the freezing cold winters for warmer weather.
Yes, I tell everybody I ran away. I don't want to shovel anymore. I don't want to deal with the 2 below 0 wind chill factor. And driving through the ice and snow. I originally worked in a prison for 22 years. So I was an essential employee. I was a dispatcher. And I used to have to drive through the blizzards and the ice and all that. So I don't miss it.
You're making me jealous.
hmm hmm Yeah.
That's too funny.
Yeah.
No, but that's really awesome. So, what would you say? So, Paula, what would you say is an obstacle that you could say that you've overcame and you can call that your big win?
So my big win personally, I'd say it was getting here to North Carolina. It was not easy. Um, I was living in Massachusetts and something just said, I need to go. It's time to go. But I didn't know where I was going. So honestly, I just started packing. I was like, okay, God, where do you want me to go? And I had prophetic people even tell me California. And I was like, and if those of you out there don't know what prophetic means, they're just intuitive, but only connected to God.
Mm-hmm.
So um, they were intuitive and they were just telling me, go to California. That's where you belong. And I'm like, something was telling me no, I wasn't ready for California. Very expensive. Um, so I asked God myself and I was like, where do you want me to go? And he just started giving me the signs. I kept seeing signs for North Carolina. Kept seeing signs for Charlotte. And I had never been here. Not like I came on vacation, none of that. Never been here. So I only came twice before I wound up moving.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest obstacle was really getting out of this was my childhood home. So I was struggling, I mean, like, do I want to, lose this home? I mean, my mom was gone, my dad was gone, they both passed away. My sister and I owned it, but we didn't live there together. She lived somewhere else. Um, it was a struggle to actually leave my childhood home,
Mm-hmm.
but I knew I had to go. So I just had started packing. We had a lot of stuff. Because I had a townhouse before I moved back to my childhood home. I wasn't living there for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so my mom had cleaned out her house, gave it to me. Now it wound up coming back there. So yeah, that was a struggle. It took me a good year to I sold stuff, I'd get rid of it, figure out where it was gonna go. But signs just kept leading to North Carolina. And so I finally did come here and I visited twice. I met up with a realtor the first time. Did I meet with her the first? Yeah, the first time. I came for a glory fest just to kind of meet people and just get a lay of the land. And I met with a realtor the second time I came. Yeah, it was the second time I came. And just saw a couple places. We didn't really get to see too much. I was only here a couple days. So I still didn't know where I was going to go when I went back home. Um, but we sold the house and I said, I'm just going to go. I'm just going to wing it. That's what, I started looking online and stuff, but I just really took a leap of faith. That's what I like to call it. God really just led me. I asked him where he wanted me to go. And I kept seeing signs for North Carolina, then Charlotte. I mean, I met people that had dogs named Charlotte. I was in a cafe in Atlanta one time, and I was on a conference, and we were at like this little cafe. The name of the cake was Charlotte. I mean, it was called white. What was it called? White Charlotte cake or something like lemon. I forgot what it was. White Charlotte cake or something like that. And it was on a piece of paper. And I thought it said chocolate. No, it said Charlotte. Yeah, it was white Charlotte. I mean, so all these signs were just leading to come here. So I stayed in a hotel for a good month. And then I finally, I started looking around and another thought for me was I just started to make business connections. started networking to see if, somebody knew of a place. Started looking around, and I started looking in a place where a woman had told me to go. When I originally visited North Carolina, when I went to the Glory Fest, she had said, check out the Lake Norman area. So I said, well, I'm going to check out that area. So I checked out a couple areas, and something said, she told me that I would like it here. I said, all right, let me check it out. The rest is history. But that's long/short version, because it was tough. My sister had to help me, and I'm very grateful for that, or I wouldn't be here. So, money was an issue. It was a lot of obstacles to get here. And even after I got here, talk about obstacles, um, I had a choking incident about a month after I moved. Almost died. I was choking for 5 hours. Got rushed to the hospital, had emergency surgery. Yeah. And it was due to one of the things I didn't mention, the reason I became a health coach is because I developed multiple food allergies. So I've overcome that, but if I ever overdo it, like if I have too much gluten or I'm stressed out, my body becomes inflamed. So basically what happened was my body was a little bit stressed from moving. I didn't know where I was going and all of that. So it was stressful. Did have a little bit of gluten. And then I ate a piece of chicken, and that got stuck in my throat. So I was choking for 5 hours. I'm lucky to be alive. Thank God I'm alive, because I was by myself. I had gone to a business event, and I had a piece of chicken, started to choke, and I felt it. I had that feeling before. I thought it was the anaphylactic shock, but this time it was the chicken was really stuck. It wasn't just anaphylactic shock. So even the doctors and everybody else, they weren't sure either that if something was stuck or if I was still in anaphylactic shock. So that's why they were waiting, but it was horrific. It's horrific. I was like vomiting for every 2-3 minutes because my throat was closing up.
Wow.
So they didn't do surgery. I got there like, let's see, I started choking around 12:20. I remember the time because I was watching the time. 12:20, I got to the hospital maybe. Finally, I didn't call it till after 1, maybe 1:45. And from 1:45 till probably about 5:30, almost 6 o'clock at night, they put me in surgery and finally removed it. So that was the first obstacle. And then after that, about a month after that, my friend came to visit after that conference, and we got in a car accident. So had to heal from that.
This was after
So
Charlotte, right?
that was in North Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah, that was in North Carolina. So I had to heal from that, and it took a little while. At first, I thought I was okay. 5 days later, my arm was in excruciating pain. So just had to heal. I really couldn't do a lot. I couldn't type. I couldn't, because I was trying to like launch the business, because I put things on the back burner while I was packing and getting ready to go home, getting ready to move. So that was the next obstacle. The next obstacle after that, I would have to say, is I just started to get going, started to really network, get to know people, started to do some talks here. We got hit with the pandemic and we got locked up. So I would say would be the next obstacle. Because, now I was supposed to do a talk in Charlotte, couldn't do that because we got locked up. I was supposed to do a couple talks, I think, yeah. And couldn't do it, so now I couldn't do the networking I was doing. I was, as I was relaunching and rebuilding, I was starting to learn all this stuff online, but I still wasn't even quite there yet. You know what I mean? Getting things online is not easy. So that was the next obstacle. And then even after that, after the pandemic, now you're like everybody and their brother is online. So you're fighting for space online, you know what I mean? To even get noticed. So I would say that would have been another obstacle, but I know people out there need me. I know they need my help. And so I just keep pressing through. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, a little bit, just a little bit. So So you had obstacle after obstacle from the
Mhm.
moment you decided to move to North Carolina to, to even throughout the pandemic. How did all of that affect you during that moment?
Oh, it's exhausting. Not gonna lie. I mean, you have your days where you're just like, oh, I just want to throw in the towel, but I just keep pressing through. Yeah. And sometimes there's always something that just makes you keep going too. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
You'll be talking to someone online or helping somebody. You know what I mean? And something they say or do, and you're like, okay, I know I got to keep going. You know what I mean? That helps. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. So what was that like so back to, pre North Carolina, what was the
Yep.
defining moment when you realized I have to get out of here? I need to move. I need to make a move.
Things were getting really expensive in Massachusetts, and I felt stagnant, like very. Um, I was in Central Mass, and I just felt like nothing's moving there. Very hard to get a business going there. So it was just very stagnant. I felt very stuck. I lived in a house that had oil heat. Oil was very expensive. It was almost cost for another mortgage. So I
Hmm.
wanted to live where it was a little cheaper. I wanted to live where it was thriving more. And it's definitely thriving and growing in Charlotte and the North Carolina area.
Hmm.
Um, even with the pandemic and everything closing down, it's not stopping it. It is not stopping it. I see businesses launching, like new businesses, restaurants. They're launching. They're not even reopening. They're new openings. So it's not stopping this growth here. I mean, it might have slowed it down, but it's growing exponentially here. It wasn't growing that much in Massachusetts. A little bit, Central Mass was redoing the there's a place called Kelly Square, and they're redoing that. They're putting in like a ball field and some businesses there,
Hmm.
but not like here. It's totally different, a different. It's growing in a lot of different avenues here, whereas Worcester was only growing in a certain sector. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's
Yeah,
just different. It's everybody's growing here. You know what I mean? No matter what you do, it's not thriving in every area. Only they're just trying to make it thrive. There's a difference. Yeah.
for sure, for sure.
Hmm.
So I know there's a lot of people who might be listening to this, me included. I have to tell you, who are thinking, I want to move. I want to move somewhere else. What would you say to those people who are thinking about it but they're hesitating?
I would say, for me, it was all God. Like I said, I took a leap of faith. He showed me where to go. I mean, he even showed me the zip code. I had to do a little investigation, investigating. But I would just ask him, I'm like, God, where do you want me to go? What zip code do you want me? Where's the zip code? And at first I didn't know, don't get me wrong, but I would dig. I was like, okay, is this the area code? Is this the zip code? Um, and so I kept saying 280, and I am in a zip code with 280. So ask God where He wants you to go. I mean, that was the way I did it. Psalm 119, 133, order my steps, and He will show you. Pay attention to the signs. Do you keep seeing the same thing over and over again? Or hear the same word over and over again, see the same number over and over again. Um, Pay attention to that. Those are signs. If you don't believe in God, okay, I get it. What's the universe telling you? You know what I mean? It's the same idea. You're going to keep seeing something over and over again or hearing something. You're going to feel stuck. Nothing's moving. Those are signs you need to move. Now figure out how you're going to do it. You may not have the money in your pocket. Is there somebody that can help you? You know, Reach out to someone else that can help you. Is it a family member? Don't be afraid, because you might thrive somewhere else and you'll be stuck forever if you stay where you are. So, and you'll drown because you're not where you need to be, you know. So, like, even right now, I was just telling you earlier, there's been storms in Georgia and all that, and it's horrific. It's horrible what these people are going through, but you don't know what's in store for them. Maybe there's a better place for them eventually. It's not going to happen tomorrow, and I feel so bad for these people. It's not the way you want it to happen, but you never know. They might have a bigger, better place tomorrow. They might live in another city, another town where they'll be thriving, where they weren't thriving, where they were. I don't know the circumstances, but one thing about me is I look at things differently, and you perceive it as everything does happen for a reason.
Yeah.
So as horrible as it is, we don't always enjoy it. Um, even me, all my experiences, they're going to help somebody else, so yeah. Hmm.
For sure. So what you're saying is everything you've overcame up, or everything you had to overcome, you use that to be able to benefit other people, is what you're saying.
Absolutely. Yes. And still do. Hmm.
Are you still dealing with obstacles today?
Yeah. I mean, of course, you'll never stop dealing with obstacles. Absolutely. Yeah. And just running a business is an obstacle in itself. Yeah.
I
Hmm.
agree.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
I would
Absolutely.
assume you're still with that same positivity.
Yeah.
I love it. That's great.
Uh-huh. Hmm.
Fantastic. So yeah, can you tell our viewers how they can connect with you?
Yeah, so they can connect with me through my website, enrichyourhealth.com, enrichurhealth.com. I have a couple of free gifts there. If you go to the store, you can get my Reversing Illness book for free. It says free stuff. And I have a 6-day immunity meal plan guide. So boost your immune system, 6-day meal plan guide. Um, I'm going to be putting some other stuff up, some detox stuff up. So cleanses and detox. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to be doing classes, some self-study, some live. So stay tuned for that. If you do know what Clubhouse is and you want to join me on Clubhouse, I do a room on Clubhouse at 4 o'clock on Sundays, Overcoming Illness. And you can follow me there under my name, Paula Denoncourt. On social media, I'm Paula Denoncourt, but you can join my social media through the website. That makes it easier for you. But I have a personal page, Paula Denoncourt, Instagram page, Paula Denoncourt. And I also have a Lyme disease page, From Soup to Nuts, and a group, Enrich Your Health and Life. So that one you would have to just look up. It's not on the website, but it's a public group. So it's Enrich, ENRICH, and then it's your, and then Health, HEALTH, and A&D Life, Enrich Your Health and Life Facebook group. So if you want to join, or any of the viewers want to join, be happy to have you there. I like to address different things on that group, just, health, but life related too, because we do need help in our finances, our health, relationships. It all needs to balance. They all go hand in hand. So that's why I just chose to add the life onto that, because it's not just all about health. Without money, we can't have good health, so we need all of it.
Yes.
Sometimes if you're stressed about money, your health goes down the drain. So that's another thing. And especially with like illness, I will leave you on this note. With autoimmune illness, things like that, Lyme disease, people, they really get in financial hardship. So I like to give people ideas of what they can do, you know, to help their financial situation if they are ill, or what if they were to become ill. So I give them all kinds of like tips and stuff on that group, just posts here and there. I'd like to do interviews. So if anybody's out there that wants to do an interview, I'm more than happy to interview you on the group, or in the group, I should say, or on the platform. Yeah.
So there's a lot of resources to learn about how to, handle your health better, and of course the financial part as well with getting ill and things like that. So
Yeah,
lo- lots of resources.
absolutely. Yeah. And I have ebooks and recipe books in the store. And they're all like, most of them are like gluten free and dairy free and sugar free and all that. So they'll help with things like autoimmune or food allergies, food sensitivities. So if anybody's out there that's a practitioner, or you just suffer from those things, please take a look. They're $5 for a limited time only. Probably sometime in April, I'm going to go up on those prices. So I don't know exactly when we're airing this, but yeah, just be aware of that. Get them while you can at a good price. Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Right. All of that will be in the description as well, so definitely look in the description below and check it out. Take advantage of all these resources that Paula is offering.
Thank you.
All right, Paula, thank you so much for being on, and I'm definitely excited to see what happens going forward with you.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. This was great.
Awesome, awesome.
And
Well, enjoy the rest of your day and be safe and be healthy.
all right, thank you. And you all be healthy too. And thank you for watching.
Wow, that was just so cool. Paula actually made the decision to move, go to North Carolina, and just made things happen. She still faced obstacles when she moved, down to North Carolina. She was still resilient, and she still overcame everything. And she's living her best life right now, and that's definitely her big win. And I'm so excited for her. So Paula is actually available for one-on-one coaching, group coaching, and speaking engagements. You can learn more about her and or purchase her digital recipe and ebooks at www.enrichyourlife. Okay. You can learn more about her and or purchase her digital recipe and ebooks at www.enrichyourhealth.com. That's www.enrichyourhealth.com. You can follow her social media sites through her website. If you want to go to her, if you actually want to attend her clubhouse events, her clubhouse handle is at Paula Denoncourt. I hope you guys enjoy this episode. See you next time. And don't forget to subscribe and like this video if you liked it, if you enjoyed it, as well as share this with your friends, colleagues, family, whoever. Enjoy the rest of your week. Bye.